An unusual night. In a small village surrounded by hills and fields, life moved slowly and quietly, as if time there passed in harmony with nature. In one of the modest houses scattered on the outskirts of the village, lived a boy named Ryan with his family. Ryan, an 8-year-old child, had an endless curiosity about the sky and the stars. Every night, he would sneak up to the roof of the house to look through his small telescope, exploring distant worlds that seemed to him like never-ending dreams. One summer night, the sky appeared brighter and clearer than usual. The stars sparkled as if they were telling a story, and the air was filled with the scent of fresh fields. Ryan was sitting on the roof, moving his eyes between the stars, searching for something unusual. Suddenly, he noticed a moving light on the horizon, different from the stars or anything he had ever seen before. It was a pulsating light, emitting a white glow tinged with blue. The light began to approach gradually, and as it did, its size increased, and its details became clearer. It was a strange entity, round in shape, emitting a bright glow that illuminated everything around it. Ryan stopped moving, as if an invisible force made him unable to take his eyes off this strange object. Suddenly, everything became eerily quiet. The sound of the wind stopped, the sounds of the night insects faded, as if nature itself had frozen in a single moment. Then, without any warning, a vertical beam of light shot out from the strange object. The beam was incredibly bright, resembling a sword of light piercing the darkness. Ryan, who had been watching the scene in awe, suddenly felt his body slowly rising into the air. There was no sound, only faint whispers, as if coming from distant depths he could not understand. He tried to move or scream, but his strength failed him, as if an invisible force had taken control of his body. In a few moments, the light completely enveloped Ryan's body, and he began to rise toward the strange object. The light surrounded him like a glowing cocoon, until everything vanished in the blink of an eye. Darkness returned, and the strange object disappeared among the stars as if it had never been there. When his family arrived on the roof after hearing a muffled sound, they found the place empty except for Ryan's small telescope and some traces of his footsteps in the dust. The silence that enveloped the area carried with it a sense of fear and awe. Ryan had vanished, and there was no explanation for what had happened. In that moment, a story began that would change the fate of humanity forever. The mysterious phenomenon. With the rise of the sun the next day, the apparent calm in the village hid a storm of anxiety and confusion. In the small house on the edge of the village, sorrow and fear prevailed. Ryan's disappearance was a mysterious puzzle, with no trace to explain what had happened. His parents spent the entire night searching for him with their neighbors, scouring the nearby fields and forests in vain. All that was clear was that the boy had vanished under inexplicable circumstances. As the news spread through the village, the locals began to gather outside the family's house. Everyone told stories about strange lights in the sky seen that night. Some spoke of faint whispers, while others swore they felt something like a slight tremor in the ground. These testimonies led the entire village to wonder, was what happened a natural phenomenon, or was there something more bizarre at play? Within hours, a team from the local police arrived at the scene. They began investigating Ryan's disappearance, but the evidence was very scarce. Aside from his telescope and some footprints that abruptly ended on the roof of the house, there was nothing to explain what had happened. Even the trained dogs they brought in to search couldn't pick up any scent that led to Ryan. It seemed as if he had vanished into thin air. While the investigators tried to make sense of the situation, news of the incident spread beyond the village. Local media picked up the story and began broadcasting reports about the missing child and the strange light seen in the sky. Within hours, the incident became a national topic of discussion. Experts in physics and astronomy began analyzing the phenomenon, while speculations spread about whether it was related to a visit from extraterrestrial beings. Amidst this debate, a team of scientists specializing in the study of supernatural phenomena arrived. The team was led by Dr. Sammy, a prominent astronomer known for his search for signals of intelligent life in the universe. The team brought advanced equipment to analyze the area. Their measurements revealed unusual energy in the place, energy that did not belong to any known natural source on Earth. As the investigation progressed, the scientific team received a mysterious message. The message was encoded in a way that seemed beyond the capabilities of ordinary humans. The message was presented to the greatest minds in the world, and it didn't take long for them to realize that the message carried the signature of external intelligence. It became clear that the sender was not human. The content of the message was brief but enigmatic: the child is safe, but he holds the key to the future of the universe. Prepare for the journey. The cryptic words sparked a wave of shock and fear. It became evident that Ryan's disappearance was not just a random incident, but the beginning of an event that would change the fate of the entire world. The first contact. In the days following the discovery of the mysterious message, the small village became the center of global attention. Scientists, politicians, and media outlets all gathered in the area, each trying to understand the true meaning of the message and what it implied. Tension was palpable. For the first time in human history, there was direct evidence of external intelligence. Yet, no one was prepared for the next step. One quiet evening, while the scientific team, led by Dr. Sammy, was analyzing the message, their monitoring devices detected another signal. This signal was stronger and clearer, broadcasting from a very distant point in space. When the scientists translated the signal, they discovered it was not just a message, but a complex blueprint. The blueprint acted as a roadmap. It showed points in the universe, with Earth in the center. The other points seemed to be stations along a particular path, with detailed instructions on how to reach a distant place deep in space. It was clear that the extraterrestrial beings were inviting humanity to come. This discovery sparked a wave of heated debates. At the United Nations, world leaders convened to discuss how to respond. Some saw this contact as a unique opportunity to communicate with an advanced civilization, while others warned that this invitation might be a trap threatening the existence of humanity. Amidst this division, there was one consensus: Ryan, in some way, was the key to everything. An international team was formed, consisting of the world's top scientists, astronauts, and engineers. The goal was to build a spacecraft capable of following the path laid out in the blueprint. The mission was fraught with risks, especially since humans had never traveled such vast distances before. However, determination was unwavering. Ryan's disappearance had united humanity in a way never seen before, bringing everyone together to achieve the goal. Preparations for the space mission moved at an unprecedented pace. The best minds were recruited to work on designing the spacecraft and using the available technology to its maximum potential. Within months, the spacecraft was ready for launch. It was named the Savior, symbolizing hope in rescuing the child and perhaps opening a new chapter in human history. Before the launch, the mission team received a new message from the extraterrestrials. This signal was more detailed, carrying a reassuring message: Ryan is safe. The journey is necessary to understand what unites us and what divides us. Time is running out. With these words, it became clear that the journey was not just to rescue the child, but also a test for humanity. Could humans overcome their differences and work as one? Were they ready to face realms larger and grander than their own small world? When the sun rose on the day of the launch, millions gathered around the world to witness the event. A profound silence filled the air as the Savior soared into the sky, carrying with it the hopes of an entire planet. Humanity's journey into the unknown had begun, with the goal to rescue Ryan and uncover the truth behind the first contact with an extraterrestrial civilization. A global alliance. With the launch of the spacecraft the Savior, a new chapter in human history began. This journey symbolized the unification of the world, as leaders set aside their differences and focused their efforts on a shared mission. For the first time, the greatest minds from all over the globe worked in harmony, as if all of humanity had become one team. The Savior was an unprecedented technological marvel, equipped with advanced propulsion systems relying on quantum energy and intergalactic communication technologies. Inside, a team of the best astronauts, engineers, and scientists worked tirelessly to analyze the data they received from the extraterrestrials. The goal was clear: to reach a specific point on the space map and understand the message behind Ryan's abduction. On Earth, the atmosphere was charged with tension and anticipation. Space stations and ground observatories tracked the progress of the spacecraft every moment. At the same time, people of all races, religions, and backgrounds gathered in public squares to follow the news. For the first time, there was no talk of borders or differences. everyone was united because of this mission. Inside the spacecraft, the crew worked non-stop. The data they analyzed indicated that the first destination was a nearly starless region of space, known as the Great Void. This place held nothing familiar, but it emitted mysterious signals from a distant point. As the spacecraft approached that point, the crew discovered an enormous structure floating in space, like a giant glowing gateway. The gateway was made of a material unlike anything humans had ever seen before. The analyses revealed that the material seemed to combine the properties of matter and energy, as if representing an extraordinarily advanced technology. As the spacecraft neared it, the gateway began to activate automatically, glowing with pulsing lights that appeared to welcome the craft. As the crew decided to pass through the gateway, they received a new message. The message was brief: courage leads us to the truth. There is no turning back, only moving forward. With no other choice, the crew made the decision to pass through the gateway. The moment they did, everything changed. The stars and the black space disappeared, and they found themselves in a new world. The sky was filled with colors they had never seen before, and glowing planets slowly orbited in an infinite space. The place looked like a living work of art, where physics and beauty merged in ways that no human mind could have imagined. On Earth, communication with the spacecraft was briefly lost, causing panic among the followers. But after a few minutes, the signal returned, accompanied by images of the new world. Shock and awe swept over everyone, as they realized they were facing a civilization beyond imagination. The journey had reached a new level, and it was no longer just a mission to rescue a child, it had become a discovery that would redefine humanity's place in the universe. Journey through the stars. Through the glowing gateway, the spacecraft The Savior entered a space unlike anything humans had ever known. The new world seemed like a living canvas, full of unfamiliar colors and shapes. The planets glowed with vibrant hues, and energy fields swam freely, emitting sounds resembling music. Every passing moment in this place carried a sense of awe and new discovery. Aboard the spacecraft, the team was busy attempting to analyze the surrounding environment. Measurement devices showed that the physical laws humans understood no longer operated the same way. Time seemed to slow down, and dimensions merged into one another. Amidst all this, the team discovered an energy trail extending through space, as if guiding them toward their next destination. As they followed the trail, a massive structure suddenly appeared on the horizon. It resembled a space castle floating in the void, surrounded by energy rings revolving around it regularly. The structure emitted a faint light, but one powerful enough to draw attention. The team realized that this was the next destination identified on the space map. As they approached, strong signals began emanating from the structure, as though welcoming their arrival. Then, in a sudden moment, the spacecraft came to a complete stop. It seemed as if an invisible force had taken control. The crew attempted to regain control, but all systems were now under external command. At that moment, a three-dimensional image of an alien being appeared before them. The being was tall, with a translucent body shimmering as if the stars resided within it. Its wide eyes emitted a soft light, as though carrying the wisdom of countless ages. The being spoke in a calm voice, but its words were not heard, they were felt. The message was clear: welcome, humans. We invite you to understand the secrets of the universe, but your journey has only just begun. Then, without warning, the spacecraft was sent through a tunnel of light. Time inside the tunnel felt infinite, as if they were suspended between the moment and eternity. When the tunnel ended, the crew found themselves before a massive planet glowing with a golden light. Its surface was bathed in light, as if it were welcoming them in a way they had never seen before. At this moment, the voice of the being returned to address them: Ryan is safe on this planet. But he is not here by chance. There is something within him that belongs to the entire universe. To understand that, you must face the truth you have been fleeing from: humans are not alone, and they never have been. As the spacecraft prepared to land on the planet, the crew's minds were filled with endless questions. What did it mean that Ryan held the key to the future of the universe? Why had the extraterrestrials chosen him specifically? The answers were drawing closer, but the truth carried challenges greater than they had ever imagined. The alien planet. The spacecraft The Savior landed on the golden surface of the planet, amidst a scene so enchanting that words could hardly describe it. The Earth emitted a faint energy under their feet, and the horizon stretched endlessly, filled with natural formations that seemed to blend art and science. The air was pure, yet it carried a strange sensation, as if it held faint whispers from an invisible presence watching over them. As the crew exited the spacecraft, alien beings similar to the one they had previously communicated with appeared before them. The beings moved smoothly, their transparent bodies reflecting the surrounding light as though they were parts of the very universe. There were no words, but the human crew felt messages being directly conveyed to their minds. The messages were warm and reassuring, indicating that they were safe. The aliens led them to a colossal structure at the center of the planet. It resembled a temple or palace made of a transparent material like crystal, but it seemed to pulse with life inside. Upon entering, they found themselves in a vast hall, where everything appeared to be in constant motion, as if time itself was beating there. At the center of the hall stood Ryan, surrounded by a golden energy field. Ryan appeared healthy, but he was different. His eyes glowed with an understanding far beyond his years, as if he had acquired knowledge surpassing that of humans. He spoke to them without sound, through a direct telepathic message, "I am fine. They took me because I have something that cannot be explained, something that belongs to everyone." One of the aliens, who appeared to be their leader, began to explain what was happening. He said that Ryan hadn't been kidnapped in the usual sense, but chosen because he carried a unique genetic key. The key was the result of a rare blend of human traits, linked to certain cosmic frequencies that could restore balance to the universe. The aliens had discovered this property by observing humans over thousands of years. The being explained that the planet they were on was not just a place, but a center for maintaining balance in the universe. The creatures living there acted as guardians of this balance. However, a disruption had occurred in the cosmic system, and existence itself was now threatened. The only solution was to activate the frequency that Ryan carried, which represented a new hope for restoring harmony between worlds. But the process was not easy. The aliens explained that activating this frequency would put Ryan in danger. He would need to be merged with a massive energy source that could affect his life. The decision was difficult: should they risk the child's life to save the universe, or should they search for another solution? At that moment, Ryan intervened with a clear and direct message: "I am ready. I feel this is what I must do. Don't worry about me." On Earth, the entire world watched the events unfold through a live broadcast from the spacecraft. Humanity was united in a rare moment of solidarity, filled with anxiety and anticipation. Everyone realized that their fate, and the fate of the universe, hinged on a small decision that carried an unimaginable weight. In preparation for the operation, the aliens set up a special chamber that radiated infinite energy. Ryan entered the room, surrounded by protection from both the human team and the aliens. The process began, and the planet's energy started flowing in an unprecedented way. Everything was in a delicate balance between success and collapse. The Great Confrontation. The operation began inside the energy chamber, where Ryan stood at the center of a glowing energy field. The alien guardians watched closely, their devices connected to the system controlling the flow of energy. On the other side, the human scientific team stood in anticipation, trying to follow the process even though it had exceeded the limits of their understanding. The moment Ryan's frequency began merging with the planet's energy, everyone felt a profound change in their surroundings. The energy field started pulsating intensely, and the Earth itself gently trembled, as if the planet were breathing. The light around Ryan became brighter, shifting into an unfamiliar spectrum, as if reflecting the essence of the entire universe. But then, something unexpected happened. The energy that had been flowing smoothly began to show signs of disturbance. Strange sounds, like the screams of the universe itself, echoed through the space. The alien guardians appeared anxious, and one of them addressed the human team with a clear message: "There is interference. An external force is attempting to stop the process." Immediately, the human and alien teams began searching for the source of this interference. By analyzing the energies, they discovered that a strange entity was trying to breach the process from another dimension. This entity was not part of the balanced cosmic system; it represented chaos, the opposing energy that always seeks to destroy harmony. The aliens referred to it as the shadow. The shadow knew that the success of the process meant its end, and so it expended all its energy to disrupt the frequency carried by Ryan. As the attack intensified, Ryan felt an immense pressure. His small body was struggling to withstand the energy flowing through him, but he remained steadfast. His eyes, flooded with light, seemed to carry a determination far beyond his age and experience. At this critical moment, the human and alien teams decided to collaborate. They devised a plan to confront the shadow by merging their technologies. The aliens summoned the energy of the cosmic guardians, while the humans used their creativity and innovation to develop a jamming system to counter the entity. The battle was not physical, but took place on the level of energy and consciousness. Each time the shadow tried to breach the field, the team fought it off with great effort. However, the battle grew fiercer. It seemed as if the entity grew stronger with every attempt, as if chaos fed on the imbalance. Ryan, despite the overwhelming pressure, did not falter. Suddenly, he raised his hands inside the energy field, as though directing the energy himself. In that moment, something extraordinary happened. A new frequency appeared, one that had not been anticipated. This frequency was stronger and purer than anything they had encountered before. The aliens quickly realized that this frequency was a new key, something they had not expected. The new frequency merged with the planet's cosmic energy, creating a massive light wave that spread across the sky. The wave struck the shadow directly, causing it to gradually fade away. As it disappeared, calm returned to the planet, and the energy stabilized once again. Ryan, who had been at the center of it all, collapsed from exhaustion. But the aliens assured everyone that he was fine, as his body and nervous system had successfully withstood the pressure. The operation had succeeded, and the universe had regained its balance. Return to Earth. After the operation ended and the energies on the golden planet stabilized, a profound calm spread across the place. Ryan, despite his immense exhaustion, lay within a warm energy field that provided him with healing. The aliens indicated that the frequency Ryan had carried had fulfilled its purpose, and the cosmic balance had been restored. But they also clarified that what had occurred was not just a temporary achievement, it was a first step toward a greater future. With a serene smile, the lead alien guardian stood before the human team and conveyed a telepathic message. What has been achieved here is not only a victory for the universe, but proof of humanity's ability to transcend its limits. Ryan embodies the essence of human creativity, a rare blend of courage, passion, and harmony with the cosmos. Your future is brighter than you can imagine, if you choose unity always. Ryan gradually regained consciousness, his eyes filled with wisdom as though he had lived lifetimes beyond his own. He looked at his human team and then at the alien guardians, and with a deep sense of purpose, he said, "I want to return to Earth. The world needs all of us." The Guardians responded to Ryan's wish and began preparing the Savior spacecraft for the return journey. Before they left, the aliens gifted the humans with new technology that would help them understand the universe more deeply, with a clear warning: power comes with responsibility. Use this knowledge wisely. The spacecraft launched back toward Earth, carrying a message of hope and unity. During the journey, the crew continued to reflect on everything they had experienced. The ordeal was not just about rescuing a child, it was a redefinition of humanity itself, its spirit, and its ability to face the unknown. As the spacecraft approached Earth, the reception was worldwide. Millions gathered to witness the event, with screens everywhere broadcasting the return of the Savior. The moment the spacecraft landed was filled with emotion, tears of joy, cheers, and smiles. Ryan's exit from the spacecraft, waving his small hand, became a symbol of humanity's success in overcoming challenges. In the days following their return, the world began to change. Governments started to collaborate in ways never seen before, and scientists from all over the Earth gathered to analyze the technology the team had brought. People began to realize the importance of unity, and how division weakened them while their strength lay in coming together. As for Ryan, he returned to his life in the village, but he was no longer the same child. His experience had transformed him, making him wiser and more mature. He became a symbol of hope, an icon of courage and determination. People came from far and wide to hear his story, which became a legend passed down from generation to generation. And in the sky, far beyond Earth, the planets and stars bore witness to this moment. The balance humanity had restored was not merely a return to stability, it was the beginning of a new journey. A journey that meant, despite their occasional weaknesses, humans possessed the ability to be part of the entire universe.